What's up, everybody? This is Damron with Trash Ass Gamers, bringing you another Elder Scrolls Online Veteran Dungeon Guide. This is for Arx Corinium. Arx Corinium is a pretty easy dungeon. It's found in the Shadowfen area of the Ebonheart pack. Not a big fan of this dungeon. I find it kind of boring. The bosses are, very minimal, and I'm not a big fan of it overall, and it's very easy. So let's get moving on. If you haven't seen these videos, I will fast forward through the ad portions of the videos to make them a little faster, and I'll basically be focusing on any boss strategies that may be giving you guys troubles, and I'll also point out anything in the dungeon that I think is important. So the first set of ads, and basically all the ads in this dungeon, are very weak. So what you'll see us do, and what I like to do, is just kind of run to the end of a zone, let those ads follow, stack up, and then just burn them all down. Very easy dungeon. So the first boss that we come across is this giant snake. He's not too bad. He doesn't have too much health. The Fanged Menace are part of his little crew menacing Lamia around to help him out, but the Fanged Menace himself doesn't really do too much. He does light and heavy attacks to the tank, and then he'll sometimes coil up into a ball and create an AoE around him. Now if you're inside that AoE, he will basically ravage your health and it will heal him. So when he does that, just back up, and then when it's over, just come and burn him down. So as you can see, he doesn't particularly have that much health, nor many attacks that you need to worry about. Just make sure you stand out of the way when he does the AoE that can heal himself. So let's move on. Alright, next up is Genactin the Tempest. Genactin the Tempest is basically a enemy who does lightning attacks, as you can see there, and those are going to be random. Those are just going to come down and strike portions of the map, but they don't do too much damage that you really need to worry about. His health is pretty minimal, and he'll do a tail heavy attack on the tank and some light heavy attacks that he doesn't really need to worry about. He'll also shoot a ball of lightning straight in front of him every once in a while, but again, as you can see, you're going to be able to burn him down so fast. He doesn't really cause much damage and doesn't have that many attacks that you need to worry about. So let's get blasting through this crap dungeon, and I'll meet you at the next boss. Alright, so next up, Lenio the Songstress. Again, this is basically just an oversized Lamia. It's going to do light and heavy attacks on the tank, and that's not going to cause really anybody else any problems. But the heavy attack will knock you down if you're the tank, so if you don't want to be knocked down, feel free to roll dodge that. Now she will do this other attack, which kind of causes a slow burn type damage to everybody that's not inside this little protective area that the smaller snake that's with her is creating. If you want to stand inside that to avoid damage, you can. However, most people generally don't, because the damage that she's causing onto the map is very minimal. It's not going to hurt you that much. You can probably just stand right through it and burn her down. So do that, and we'll move on to xxDAMRONxx. So xxDAMRONxx, or I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right, but she does have some handmaiden with her. Feel free to burn those down, but it's easier just to stack them up all on top of each other. But as a boss, she's not going to cause too much that you need to worry about. She'll do a little AoE there, but again, just like every other boss in this dungeon, those AoEs are not going to really cause too much damage to cause you any problem. She will also launch randomly a lightning attack that will target a random player. It'll basically kind of go to them and explode, and again, you can roll dodge that, but it once again won't cause you too much trouble. Her health's not too much trouble, so just burn her up and let's get cracking. And shortly right after that, it's the next boss, which is an ancient Lurcher. He looks just like a regular Lurcher, honestly, and you'll see our tank run by thinking that we're just going to stack all the ads, assuming that this was also an ad, but it's not. It's actually a little enemy. It's part of the Veteran Conquer achievement, and the no death and the speed run. So make sure you take this guy out. Now he basically just does simple Lurcher attacks. He does some heavy and light attacks, not really going to cause you too much damage. He will raise his arm up in the air and have a beam of light that targets a player and kind of does a slow burn amount of damage. But other than that, there's really not anything, again, with the whole dungeon that you really need to worry about. Just make sure the tank is holding on to the light and heavy attacks. Now, when he's doing this kind of AoE, you can interrupt that. As you see there, I bashed him. Typically the tank will do that, but basically you can bash that and stop that little AoE that he generates around himself. So clean him up, and just like that, we are at the last boss. So let's make sure we read our scroll to go into hard mode. And there's a very easy way to do this boss, which, is not very, it's pretty well known. It's basically you want to hold her on this portion of land right here that I'm on. So you're going to see the tank bring the boss over here, and we're just going to burn down Celestrix, the Lamia Queen. Again, just an enlarged Lamia. She will do a scream attack, a conical that is going in front of her, and that can kind of knock you back and do quite a bit of damage to everyone other than the tank if you're standing in there just taking it. So definitely avoid that. If she happens to face you when she's about to do that scream, roll dodge out of it. Now she'll do these attacks that basically cause the portions of the land to have AoEs on them, and you can't stand on those portions of land. But for some reason, this portion of land over here does not get affected by that attack. That's why we pull her here, because sometimes she will also create lightning in the water. So you'll have to shift from the water to the land. But if you just stay on this portion of land, you won't actually need to worry about that mechanic. So just hold her here, tank, have her face the wall so the scream doesn't hit anybody else, and then everyone just damage her down. Now she will get a shield throughout the fight that will kind of lower your damage, but it's a minimal shield. And as soon as the land phase is gone, her shield will disappear, and you'll be right back to bringing her down. So very, very easy dungeon, extremely boring bosses. The ads are weak. There's not much to it. So just clean her up, and let's talk about the monster set. Alright, so for the monster set that comes out of this dungeon, which is the Celestrix set, this set is going to give you an extra stamina, and when you deal damage, a 10% to create an earthquake that erupts every 1.5 seconds, dealing 6,000 damage within 4 meters, and can occur every 5.5 seconds. It's pretty cool, kind of fun to run, but it's not particularly useful as a DPS character. So I hope that's it. If you guys like these kind of videos, feel free to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.